Are you tired of single target numbers and low damage?
That tingle?
Did you really think your artifact had potential? Then rolled all into defense percent? Are your squishies way too
subordination? One shall.
Albedo seems like the character for you. Albedo has amazing off-field damage, great burst support potential, and can form crystallize to protect any squishy units. He's also one of the best low investment, high payoff units that scales off of defense percent. Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome to my Albedo guide. Today I'll be showcasing and guiding you guys through how to build Albedo and what he's like to play. I like Albedo a lot because you can use unusable artifacts for other characters to utilize his kit extremely well. My Albedo is currently running of R5 Harbinger of Dawn, Noblesse Oblige and Archaic Petra set, 0 Constellations, 8 and 8 on his Q and E, 64% crit rate, 160% crit damage, 147 energy recharge, and 83% Geo Damage Burst. My top 2 weapon choices for Albedo is either Harbinger of Dawn or Festering Desire. Currently I have Harbinger of Dawn on Albedo because I like the crit damage and crit rate substats it provides. Since I'm playing Albedo support, he's almost never on the field and therefore his HP won't drop below 90%. I like to use the Festering Desire if I'm low on energy recharge. I just want to spam burst. The Festering Desire passive also has a skill damage percentage bonus and crit rate damage bonus for your elemental skills. 5-star options: Skyward Blade is the only energy recharge sword, but its energy recharge is comparable to 4-star swords. Again, the set that I run for him is a 2 Noblesse and 2 Archaic Petra, and these are my artifact stats. And I'm running a defense Sands because his E scales off of defense. It is totally common for players to run triple defense on his Sands, Circlet, and Goblet. Next, let's go over the best artifact set to run on Albedo. A lot of people question about if you should run Emblem of Severed Fate on Albedo. My current opinion on Emblem of Severed Fate is it's going to be a hard no. Albedo's ult only takes 40 energy and a 12-second cooldown, so you don't need that much energy. And to effectively use the 4-piece set on Emblem of Severed Fate, you at least need 300 energy recharge, and I'd just rather build other stats like defense percent and Geo Damage Burst. The next set we have for Albedo is Tenacity of the Millilith. Tenacity of the Millilith's 2-set bonus is 20% HP, which you aren't going to be using on Albedo. But its 4-piece set is where the set really shines. When an elemental skill hits an opponent, the attack of all nearby party members is increased by 20%, and their shield strength is increased by 30% for 3 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds, and this effect can still be triggered even when the character who is using the artifact set is not on the field. I think this is a great set to use on Albedo. It's easy to stack his 4 passive skill, and the effect is actually really good for him. Next we have 2-piece Archaic Petra and 2-piece Noblesse Oblige. This is currently the set I'm using on Albedo. Archaic Petra is 15% Geo Damage bonus, and Noblesse Oblige is 20% Elemental Burst damage bonus. I think this set is also a really great 2-piece set to build on Albedo, seeing that he can abuse both 2-piece sets extremely well. I have 2-piece Noblesse Oblige and 2-piece Archaic Petra because I built Albedo before the Tenacity of the Millilith set was released, and I'm just too lazy to switch his artifact sets, and I feel like the damage difference would be quite big. Tenacity of the Millilith set makes Albedo more like a support build. He will increase attack damage for his team and do less damage himself. 2-piece Noblesse Oblige and 2-piece Archaic Petra has Albedo dealing more damage through his burst and through his E.
Coming to be! To the fairy!
The best substats to run on Albedo is crit rate, crit damage, and defense percent. The next best substats to run on Albedo is energy recharge and attack percent. Defense percent scales off his skill, and attack percent scales off his ult. Next, let's get into Albedo's talents and abilities. Albedo's auto attacks are extremely weak and don't provide much damage. His scalings are minimal and I wouldn't recommend leveling them up at all. His major support potential comes from his E, Solar Isotoma. When Albedo places Solar Isotoma, it deals AoE Geo Damage whenever enemies are hit around Solar Isotoma's circle. They take AoE Geo Damage and it scales off Albedo's defense. And it can only be generated once every 2 seconds. When standing on Albedo's E, it raises you up into the sky so enemies can't hit you, and you can perform a plunge attack. Albedo's E is also considered a Geo construct, which means it can resonate with Zhong's pillar. Upon passing Albedo's ult, he deals AoE Geo damage in front of him. If Solar Isotoma is out on the battlefield, it will trigger 7 Fatal Blossoms in the Isotoma vicinity, dealing AoE Geo damage. The talent upgrade order is Skill, Burst, and then your autos. Honestly, I wouldn't upgrade my auto attack at all because Albedo is a support and I really have him on the battlefield. Constellation wise, I have none because I'm saving my Primo Gems, but his C1 gives him more energy. His C2 makes building defense percent more effective on him. His C4 increases plunge damage. His C6 is whenever a character protected by a shield formed by Crystallize is within his E, they have their damage increased by 17%. Next, let's get into Albedo team comps.
Sure.
The greatest partner to pair with Albedo is Zhong. You also get the Geo Resonance bonus, which is increasing shield strength by 50%. Characters protected by the shield will have their damage increased by 15%, and enemies that have been dealt damage will have their Geo Resonance decreased by 20% for 15 seconds. Zhong is great with Albedo specifically because Albedo's Solar Isotoma, his E, is also considered a Geo construct, so Zhong's pillar can resonate with Albedo's E. Albedo really likes team comps that have a lot of elements, so he can proc Crystallize. Albedo plays a lot like Fischl in that you just use your E and then you forget about it. But once your burst is off cooldown, you spam his burst and deal tons of Geo damage. For team comps, I would say keep focusing on building around your main DPS, don't build around Albedo, but good partners are for Zhong and Bennett. Zhong because of the Pillar Geo Resonance, and Bennett for the attack damage buff. Albedo fits so well into this team because while Zhong and Bennett are supporting Xiao, Albedo can also benefit from their support capabilities.
Gather! I will have order!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Witness my great undertaking!
Burst forth!
Out of my sight! Now you shall perish!
Can't run from death!
This fight!
Live!
My lucky day!
Moment of birth!
Yes! To the very order guide you!
Everybody stand back!
Witness my great undertaking!
Inazuma shines eternal!
Cut down! This... Behold! The abyss has come! Hear the truth! Solidify! Order guide you!
Go as one!
Witness my great undertaking!
Burst forth the light shine!
Barbados, guide us! Go as one!
Careless! Solidify! The truth! I will have order! Free!
Disappear! Worthless!
Hear ye the word joy. Great be upon you.
Here!
And hope find you.
All in all, Albedo is a great Geo support whose damage is comparable to Zhong with his burst and Fischl with her E. His E is different from Fischl because he's burst, so instead of dealing major single target electro damage, he's dealing multi-target Geo damage to multiple enemies, which I see as more valuable than single target damage. And with Zhong, instead of dealing a giant one-shot burst, he does 7 Fatal Blossoms with his initial burst, and which ends up dealing more damage than Zhong if you can get all the blossoms to hit. With his insanely overpowered energy recharge and a burst cost of 40, Albedo is great to use in Abyss as to invincibility frame certain attacks and abilities. As of Albedo's release in Dragonspine in 1.3, Albedo hasn't really changed much from then. There was the Geo Resonance buff and the addition of new 5-star weapons, but currently I built my Albedo in 1.3 and kept him the same ever since. Thank you all for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If I left anything out in the video, leave it in the comments down below.